Alrighty, here we go. Live with session 52 of our Forbidden Lands game. Where the party is seemingly in a bit of a bad way.
We call it a
Seemingly?
pickle. We're in a pickle.
It's a mighty fucking big pickle.
The pickle's on fire, it's undead, and it's stoppable. But it's still a pickle.
It's 89 feet high.
But yeah, yes, do be smelling briny.
On your way back home after weeks away, you have encountered this seemingly juggernaut-like foe that originally you ran from, put some distance between you and it. Seems to be after the gems. Some consultation with the elven spirits in the various gems while you guys were dreaming provided you with some information on this creature and seemed to imply that Jakuz or Jakuz's followers have the remaining gems. They only need the ones that you guys have in order to do whatever it is they're going to do. On the plus side, it means that the remaining gems you're looking for are all together.
With the demon lord.
Unfortunately, they're all together with Jakuz.
And his wife and the
Yeah.
book. And
Oh, yeah. Right.
It's not
I feel like
necessarily
we've dropped
better.
several balls.
A little bit.
But this creature, this armored knight, has once again tracked you down. Without saying anything, it has motioned for you guys to hand over what you assume to be the gems. This time, Kaldi decided to go and try to talk to it or size it up, and it basically just like overhand choke slammed him into the ground. He is still moving. His breathing is a little bit rattled, but because he is lucky, he did not break any ribs and only had the breath knocked out of him. A little bit of knowledge that Ryzen managed to remember from tales and stories and songs that he's learned gave you some indications of this creature's power level and potential weaknesses. It's entirely possible that the iron spike in its chest, if that is removed, that will stop it. It's also entirely possible that it can be damaged, possibly destroyed by a sword forged of meteorite iron. Given the fact that the story that he heard was that some hero long ago had fought this creature with a sword made of meteorite iron, and this creature is still here, does cause you to perhaps doubt that particular rumor.
and the fact we don't have one. So
Yeah, and the fact that you don't have one and it would take weeks to forge one.
Can we tell from a distance what kind of sword she has? Can we tell if it's possibly a meteorite-based sword?
It's definitely made out of iron or steel, but nobody is close enough to get a better look at it.
Well, Caldy is, but it's not sure we can evaluate anything.
That's right. But we are going to start things off by folks drawing some initiative, which is probably going to be super important.
Oh, dear.
Is Foundry working for everyone?
Yep.
is for me.
Because
So
I've
far.
been trying to load it forever and nothing's happening. The site tends to be
Ah,
glitched.
crap! We're screwed.
Just like your check the
A
pin
monster
number.
so strong he kills Foundry.
Well, if we die early enough in the evening, plenty of time to make new characters.
Oh no.
One second, I'm just gonna post a Foundry link here.
Can't hear you, Chris.
I'm just gonna post a Foundry link. Tried that one, that should work.
So we drew a 2. That's not good.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
good
it
at
works now. Oh, I rolled 2 initiatives, so might be able to do something to pass the initiative to someone. Getting them.
Oh, I don't think you want my 8.
I don't even see your 8 on the sheet.
It's right under your 10.
I was just looking under the combat, in the combat tab.
Close.
There, got it.
Am I aiming for high or low? I always think.
Low.
Okay. Let's go with a 3.
That's not a 1.
Yeah, I know.
If you could roll a 1, that'd be great.
Got a 3. All right. So Terramalda. Terramalda gets to go first. Oh, Desi has one of the gems. So it basically it strides right up to Desi.
Yeah.
You do notice though that it is fairly slow. Basically, for it, run counts as a slow action, so it takes its slow action to get into the zone, and it can't actually close distance with you.
I have to stop you there. I don't have one of the gems.
Oh, that's right.
I have Rustbite right now. And
Desi gave Breath to Okatai.
Okatai has Breath.
Then it moves in that direction.
It can stalk up to Okatai slowly.
Slowly. But yeah, it does seem to take it considerable time to move. It is slow and ponderous.
Well, then Okatai is going to outrun it forever because he's like an entire zone away.
Speaking of, Okatai is next.
I said I wouldn't move, so I tried to lure it in Triss's zone.
All right. So,
No, I want to lure it in Triss's zone. So from where I am, will it come through Triss's zone to get to me? I can't see the whole.
Where you were before, no, it would not. But if you move into like closer to Trussius, then it'll have to go through to get to you.
Ah, I guess I'll do that.
Okay. That will take us to Desi.
Well, this is gonna hurt so much. So I can move into one other zone and then attack, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to move into his zone.
Okay.
And then I am going to melee charge.
All right.
With the intent of trying to flick that nail like she's gonna try to get the edge of Rustbite between like the head of the nail and its armor to pry it out. Like to flick it out so that it gets rid of whatever that thing is that's nailed onto his chest.
Gotcha.
We'll see if I manage.
You're our Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Pardon?
You're our only hope.
Chris, you don't
Desi
have
Kenobi.
you don't have Rustbite on my sheet. Because I greatly doubt that I get the same benefits as I do if I'm using Briath. Oh, there's Rustbite way down there. Under the dropped.
Yep, I'll add it up
Oh,
there.
there we go. Ah! There it is. Nothing's happening when I click on it. Let me reopen my character sheet.
Are you clicking under the combat tab?
Oh, no, I was on cure. Never mind. Okay, sword fighter, melee charge. Get some D8s in there.
Oh
Ooh,
my goodness.
holy! Hooktie, I like your sword. I really
very
like that it
nice.
doesn't talk back. But yeah, 7 and 8.
You're trying to what? Cut the nail out?
Yeah, I'm trying to flick the nail out, like to use the edge of the sword to kind of pry it out.
All right. So as you do, it raises that two-handed sword, partially deflects. Rustbite does kind of eat away at the sword it's wielding, but has no effect. You can't, as it kind of like turns its body to face you. You can't quite get at the nail. But you can give me an insight roll.
Did it damage its armor at all?
Nope.
Fuck.
Oh God.
Insight.
Yeah, I don't think this
Yeah,
thing
because
takes
that's
damage.
what Desi's known for.
I mean, you can always use willpower to roll with something else.
I got a success. Amazingly.
All right. So Desi, as you come in, it instinctively moves to protect that area, and you know that there's no way that you're going to be able to get at that spike unless it is somehow restrained from moving.
So the spike's a thing, but we have to figure out how to immobilize it.
Yeah, and she will yell that out. It protects that nail like it does, like it would its heart, like I would my heart. We're gonna have to immobilize it to get at it.
And just so you guys are aware, mechanically speaking, grappling does make something immobilized.
Well, now I'm wishing I had put more into my brawler talent and my unarmed.
That will take us to Ryzen.
Okay, I'm going to potentially try something that might be dumb, might be desperate, but I think we're already desperate.
Desperate is the theme of the day.
Yep. So, Chris, while we were doing initiative, I was reading the earthquake spell in my scepter.
Yep.
I want to see if I can use earthquake in such a way to specifically target the nail and not like the whole armor kit and caboodle.
It's not quite that focused.
Yeah, the spell description is pretty small and vague, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, basically it hits like a building or like a single opponent, but you can't target a part of the opponent.
Because my other option was I was pondering the nature of the ground to see if I could cause a fissure or something that could possibly swallow or envelop it.
That's a possibility.
You know what? Can't hurt. It's the best thing I can do right now. I'm going to try that.
All right. So you channel some of your life force into the scepter. And as you do, Terra Malta's head kind of like looks in your direction, acknowledging the fact that there's a gem there. But I believe Earthquake is power level D6 plus 2 from the staff. The check. D6 plus 2. All right. The ground kind of opens up. It will make a might roll.
Might or move?
Right. And I also need Desi to make a might roll.
Okay,
Desi.
against anything in particular?
Uh,
Against, yeah, never mind.
Perfect. So yeah, rising, like you channel your life force into this scepter, kind of strike the ground with it. Little tiny crack kind of like moves out from you towards the zone that the Terra Malta and Desi are in. The ground kind of like quakes and rumbles, and a fissure opens up underneath them. Both of them take a little bit of a tumble. Probably like about waist deep or so. It'll take them some time to pull themselves out. Not completely engulfed by any means, but definitely puts a hamper on movement.
It was worth a try.
Yeah. I will basically say that unless they get free, they do count as being restrained. That will take us to Trustius.
Right. So Trustius has been working on this ritual for a bit. I don't know if it's possible in this game for him to like just hold it until the thing gets close, or is it just useless?
There's not really any rules for holding spells, but I think it's cinematic, so we'll go with it.
Yeah, so I assume he can't move while he's doing this because like shadows are bending and there's like eldritch light going all over the fucking place, and yeah, so he's doing his thing. I think he'll take his round just in case they end up here. I know they're slowed, but I mean it's one of the two options we have, so I think we need to keep that in play.
Keep that option open.
Yeah.
Basically,
I mean it's a Hail Mary, but
yeah. So just kind of channeling all of this magical energy, through your form, holding your position. Lights are dimming. Like the campfire is getting dimmer.
trees are melting. Yeah, that sort of thing.
What are you doing?
Necromancy stuff.
That's terrifying.
There's about 5 mites, meaning that this could work. If and this and this and this happens.
That's great.
Okay. Terra Malta starts to pull itself out of the fissure. It is not yet free.
Oh, I wonder if it's considered immobilized for nail purposes.
It is.
I'm allowed a round of free dialogue. I'd yell, "Go for the damn nail!"
Right. That will take us to Okatai.
She's considered immobilized for the nail. And I had prepared a loop of rope to try to pass around that nail to try to jank it out. I assume if I wanted to try to stick that on that nail, I will need to get closer.
You could try to throw it from here, but the odds of success are very slim.
I mean, she's restrained right now. It sounds like our best moment to try to do something. I'll come back to the zone depending on how that goes. But
You could drop breath. Drop
Hmm?
breath
Yeah.
before you go.
I'll
Why?
put.
Because it makes him come into the zone. Or her coming into the zone.
Gotcha.
I can fast draw it out like farthest away as I can from her, and then try to go there and do the putting the rope on the nail and starting to pull.
All right. Are you trying to throw it like a lasso?
If I get if I get in the same zone, that'd still be a throw, I guess.
Yep. You would need both of your actions to get right up to it.
No, that's good. Throw. I'm better at throwing.
All right. So it's marksmanship at -3.
Okay. There. Because targeting and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
She counts as a monster.
Yes, she does.
That's not what I wanted. Not empathy.
I mean, I wish it was a living humanoid. That would give us so many more options.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is a step by step.
Okay. So -3s. But throwing harm will apply.
Yep.
My Dragon Slayer will apply.
Yep.
I'm not using the harpoon part. So I think that's that.
So yeah, so you kind of move forward as close as you kind of dare get, and you throw the rope and loop it around, and you manage to get the spike. On your next action, you will be able to try to pull it out.
Hey, Chris, quick question.
Yep.
The earthquake didn't cause damage to her, did it?
No.
Okay, because if so, I was wondering if Dragon Slayer would somehow stack on it.
Yeah. No, it did not cause any damage to her at all. Desi.
It doesn't take damage.
What happens?
I can dream that it can take damage from magic.
I mean, we have the same dream.
This is gonna hurt so much. I am going to try to tackle it to the ground.
Right. It is currently already restrained from the
Oh,
until it gets free, which it's trying to do.
And my rope is on the nail. If you want to try to grab it and tuck it.
I will. Yeah, I will absolutely try to grab it and haul it out.
All right. That is a might roll at -3.
Is that considered an unarmed attack?
No, it is not.
Damn.
You are obviously using your arms.
So
Oh,
if
that
you
was
try to pull
terrible.
the nail with it, She tried to pull the nail with her teeth. What? That's what she said.
I mean, if I had rank 2, I could try to headbutt it, but that seems like a bad idea. Sorry, you said modified by what?
Might roll at -3.
-3?
Oof.
Ouch. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yep. I don't want to push it because I can't afford to lose strength points. So yeah,
I mean,
Desi,
it's fine.
Desi,
It's stuck, right?
as far as we can tell, yeah.
It's still
She-
stuck for me.
Tries to grab it and just cannot.
Right.
That's what happens when you wear leather gloves over your chainmail.
That will take us to Ryzen.
As futile as this is going to be, I guess I'm going to run over there and try to help pull the nail out.
Right. So you can get up to it this turn, but it'll take both your actions to do so.
Okay.
As fast as your little legs will carry you. Trustius.
God damn. Okay, we're piling in, right?
Well, we are. I don't know if you are. I can understand if you didn't want to.
I mean, I get it if you want to keep our plan B alive.
Send in some like undead squirrels or something. Just send in a mass of hands.
That's
To grab
not
the
how,
nail.
That's not how it works.
You've got a
You
bunch
just-
of hands in your pouch.
I have one hand, but
That's what we meant. That's not what we meant when we said give us a hand, but you know.
okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna let Plan B go. Trestius is going to. Can I cross this corner as one zone, Chris?
Yep.
He's gonna move to Caldy.
Okay.
And I think to get next to him, that's two actions, right?
What do I do?
To get right next to him, yes.
He's going for the crown.
And roll a d6 for me as you release your spell. Alright, it does not explode.
Oh, that's good. And fair to make it random.
Terramalda. Ooh, it's still
Oh, wow.
still stuck.
Ryzen's clutch.
Right. That will take us to Okatai.
Am I gonna try to pull on my rope?
Alright, so it is a might roll at -3.
This is not gonna be good.
Alternatively, you can use your action to help Desi to give her a +1 on her might roll.
It's either I make a roll at 1 dice, or I help Busy for +1 dice.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'm gonna help Busy. I think it's better spent.
Alright. Desi.
I'm gonna try again to get the nail out.
Alright.
Another might -2.
-2 because of Okatai's help. And actually, Ryzen could help as well since he's there. It just means he's using his action kind of out of turn.
I was going to ask, can people use more than one? Like, can more than one person help?
If the circumstances allow it, up to 3 people can help on a roll. So in this case, yes.
Yeah, I'm
Since we
happy
put
to.
a rope on it. I think it allows us to be more pulling on it. That's how I see it.
Yep. So it's a net -1 for Desi.
Okay,
You got this.
that's better.
All right. So Okatai's like tugging on the rope, and Ryzen, this thing, like, it's still partially down in the crevice you created. So you kind of like use your club to kind of like lever it, a little bit away, so that Desi can get like a good grasp of that spike. And gritting her teeth, she like pulls it out, and the armor goes inert. The flames inside it kind of slowly start to die down.
She's gonna like hold the nail out like at just total arm's length. And then back away slowly. Someone want to grab the paper?
Grab the yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna rip the paper from her chest.
It does not come off the armor.
Oh. I wish, but I can't. Just a sec, and I'm gonna take a dash to go get Briette back.
Okay.
While they're doing that, Trestius is picking up the crown.
All right.
I'm just making sure that there's not an imp coming out of the bushes to steal the sword. Be the end of fucking this.
If no one else is thinking of doing this, I want to get to work on disassembling the armor.
All right. So Ryzen can give me a craft roll.
Just in case, kick the sword away from her.
So it seems to almost reassemble itself as fast as you can disassemble it.
So, like, if I were to, let's say, take the arm off, throw it away, it's going to, like, crawl its way back like it, or hover and, like, just fly back to it?
Yeah, it doesn't crawl back. It, like, slingshots back. There's a resounding, like, thudding noise as it hits the armor and reattaches itself.
Interesting.
That's strange.
But Okatai recovers Brieth. Trestius has the crown.
Nokutai called dessert.
Yeah.
And Trestius is not going to hide that he has the crown. He'll tie it to his belt. Like, he's not trying to be
Sneaky
stealthy.
about it, yeah.
He's not being sneaky or stealthy. He's like, I told you I should have this.
I don't know what this does, and Desi will hold the nail out to Trestius. But it's magical, I think, and I don't want it.
I'll see what I can figure out. I also think I should try to speak with her once we're arrested.
Yeah, maybe once we're arrested. Desi will look around for the sword that she was carrying.
Yeah, it's right there.
Is she still holding on to it?
Yep.
I will carefully try to take the sword out of her hand.
Okay. It takes some effort. And as soon as you do, there's like this very strong like magnetic pull, and you literally have to fight to keep the sword out of her grasp.
Oh, this is weird.
There's
This
a
is
gem on it.
really weird. She'll kind of lean back.
I think the nail removed their ability to be active. The indestructible part seemed to still be active. Which is a bummer.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
Desi tried to pull the sword away from her, but the sword got back in the hand of her.
Is it back in her hand, or is it? Does he have it?
Desi can give me a might roll.
Oh,
So it's a tug of war?
Yeah, it's like
kind of. Me against magnetism.
Yeah, like super strong, like earth magnet type of things.
Does this count as unarmed?
Nope.
Worth a shot.
All right, you are managing to hold on to it, but it's taking like
This is weird. Like Desi is visibly kind of leaning away from the thing on the ground. She has the sword in her hand, but it's obvious that she's struggling to keep it against nothing that seems to be there.
Do you still have the nail?
I gave it to Trestius.
Okay, good.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want it.
I think we should
Ryzen
take that thing away
Okatai.
from.
See if it's got a gem embedded in it anywhere, if we can.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it a once over and check to see if it has a gem somewhere.
as far as you can tell as you look it over, it does not.
So I'm confused. Did Desi successfully take the sword, but it's trying to get back to Terramalda like it's magnetic?
Yep.
It's just part of her, like the armor.
She's just trying to reconstitute herself.
Yep.
At least the nail is not doing that, I hope.
The nail is not doing
Um,
Now that she's immobilized, can we check what was written on the scroll?
Nothing in a language any of you understand.
Even Trustius?
Even Trustius.
Wow. We should take a record regardless. She seems
can't take
harmless at the moment.
We can't take the scroll with us. It's stuck to her.
Well, we can write it down in her grimoire.
Yeah.
Match the words. Perhaps we could find someone that can translate. Either way, it's possible that I could speak with her.
You want to try that?
Fairy. There's one called Fairy that's armor. Now.
Sorry?
You told Okatai to look for gems. There's someone called Fairy, Fari, who turned themselves into armor, kind of the way Andra turned herself into Brieth.
That would imply there's a gem somewhere, though, on the armor.
I don't know if it's this armor. And Brieth's not saying anything to me right at the moment, so. I'm surprised she didn't like yell at you, did she, Okatai? Didn't start calling you names or anything.
At me? No, she didn't speak up.
Okay. Good.
I mean, I might not be worthy of wheeling her into battle, so she might not have bothered.
Well, no, you're she might see you as a warrior, or she might just be being a petulant bitch right now. I don't know which. It's hard to tell.
But yeah, I managed to keep her safe, and not sure it was a good idea to use it in battle against that.
Yeah. Let me think. Fari was armor. Phalora was an hourglass. Yeah, those are the only other two that I remember.
An armor and an hourglass.
Hmm.
That would make one for the armor, one for the hourglass, one for the scepter, 3 on the crown. I'm missing 1, I think.
Breathe.
Oh yeah, the sword, 7. So yeah. Ugh, the brain goes zoo.
It's okay. I know the feeling. I've got smacked in the head too.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, so he has the other 2. That's what we guessed. If he sent that to us,
That's all I.
when you jam Rustbite, oh, you didn't manage to touch the nail with Rustbite.
Oh, it touched. It just didn't do anything to it.
I saw that the armor wasn't rusting. I was wondering if the nail would rust.
I didn't notice any on it.
Well, now we have it. We can check what we can do with it. But if we come to the point where we decide we want to destroy it, which I think might be a plan, maybe Rustbite can eat it away.
I'm not sure that we can.
Not sure either.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
The
Trying
nail.
to destroy the nail.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. What about something like, I don't know, just weigh it down and throw it into the nearest body of water?
I was thinking of throwing into the nearest body of lava.
Or that, yes. I wasn't sure what's closer.
I mean, volcanoes are known to be able to destroy ancient evil artifacts, aren't they? That's how it works.
Maybe, depending how weak the artifact is.
We don't know what it does.
Yeah.
We don't know where it comes from.
Right
Destroying
now,
it now
wouldn't
is
jam it in any corpse as a starter?
What if we gave it to the
seems-
harpies?
To whom?
So the harpies liked shiny things, right? They liked special shiny things. So if we tell them it's special, they'll protect it. Maybe.
Well,
It's
you're not
far away
giving the
from here.
spike to harpies.
I mean, last time we were able to convince them to give us back Briet for a bunch of shiny. So
Mhm.
if somebody knew they had the spike, they could promise them a bunch of shiny and they would surrender it.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're going in a volcano soon to try to get a hammer. We might as well bring the nail with us and just
Yeah.
toss it in the lava.
I need to
What
do a
happens?
thing before we go anywhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not suggesting like let's force march to the volcano right now.
I'll need some space.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do the Mm-hmm.
I'd keep the nail away from both of you while you're doing that.
Yeah, I would like to be in a different zone when that happens.
I can try to identify the magic in the nail while you try to speak with that thing.
Yes, of course. Best to keep it away from the corpse.
Yeah.
If it's a corpse, which is what I'm trying to determine.
Is that if you reach out to her and she's able to push you to do something through your mind, I'd rather you not have the nail in hand also,
I agree.
Yeah.
just for safety. And I can take a bit of time to try to see if I can find what makes that nail tick. While you take the time to speak with that thing. But I don't see us destroying that. I think she's just gonna stay there. So you do your thing and we move away.
Nothing else she'll sink.
Nothing
Send her
else
to
will
the
what?
tides. Let's find out who she is first.
Yeah.
If we can.
Because our enemy has the power to get her back, and if they have something else to put her back on, it's gonna be a problem. So while we have a chance, learn everything you can. I'll check the nail away from you and see if you can speak with her.
All right. Now, Chris, I don't think this is going to work, assuming this is an undead. But I'll try just in case. Do you speak with dead?
Hey.
I will save cast it. I will use the hand in my. Actually, I don't even need to use the hand because. Yeah, I'll use the hand. But if it's undead, it won't work. So it's only telling us one little thing. Whether it's undead or a person, right?
If it was dead, would it work?
If it's a dead thing, it will work. If it's an undead, it will not.
Maybe it's dead right now.
Yeah, so it tells us something, right?
Yeah.
So ingredient and save casting. Because we don't want to blow up.
Now, after that, I'd rather not die from a magic mishap.
And I'm gonna keep away, so if it blows up, I'm not in the range.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And actually, there's no benefit for using an ingredient, so no need to do that. Because it just works or doesn't, right?
Oh.
So you kind of reach out and
It takes 15 minutes or so. Or it lasts 15 minutes.
it lasts 15 minutes. But there's nothing to answer you.
All right. Well, that tells us something.
That it's not dead.
That it's not undead.
Yeah, okay. I'm not clear on the difference.
And it means that it was living at some point and is not now. But is still animated in a fashion, if that makes any sense.
But it's not undead.
No, it is undead.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Desi just looks at Ryzen and shrugs like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I think it's kind of like the skeleton situation, only instead of just bones, it's an armored person that came back as something.
In theory, if it's mindless, I could rise it and have it follow us, or order it out to sea.
Or order it to walk into a volcano.
Or that, yes.
Yeah,
I
from what
just
your elf friend said, I'm not sure lava would be enough for her.
It would make it difficult for it to crawl out, but
Indeed.
the takeaway that I have is that the spike gives it sentence.
Sorry, the spike is what?
Gives it a brain, lets it think.
So as long as we have the spike, it's just going to lie there and do nothing.
Best guess.
So what would
Hopefully.
happen if could you try to talk to the spike?
Don't think so, no. I could try, but
Was there a general spell that would allow us to try to identify what the spike does? Like sense magic?
Yeah, you can certainly try sense magic.
What do you think, Tristus?
sensing magic is limited in what it can tell us. But it never hurts to try.
Better
Actually-
than not knowing.
Actually, as a sorcerer druid, you automatically sense if an item you hold is charged with magical power. There is no magical power in the spike.
What?
Huh.
It might be like a blessed item, something religious. Is there a difference in that setting?
Kind of. Basically, there's magic, and then there's whatever the fuck it is the gods do.
Well, I mean, obviously we're dealing with like high-end shit, right? But the spike itself is not magic?
You don't sense any magical power within it.
Wow. So it's just like Zeus shit. Or belief or wow, okay.
That's weird.
I have a very bad idea. If we take some time, in theory, I could awaken this thing and have it march west for some time. If it's dead, which it seems to be. West, of course, is the coast. But then again, without the spike, perhaps it wouldn't be able to move. So
Is there So as we're looking at this thing, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
are there parts that aren't covered by armor?
No.
Is there anything
And
even
as a matter of fact, when Ryzen was like starting to disassemble the armor and like pulled the part off, kind of threw it away, and then it snapped back into place by that like magnetic pull. Which, incidentally, by this point in time, I imagine Desi has probably not succeeded at the mic check.
yeah, let go of the sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it snaps back into position. But even the parts, when Ryzen like pulled the parts off, the armor is seemingly empty.
So if the nail isn't magical, is the armor magical?
Perhaps. We could check.
Well, you could check. I can't do jack shit.
I'll see what I can find out.
I'll be over there.
Easy to safe cast Sense Magic, just to see if there's some kind of weird stuff going on.
Yes, the armor is magical of a type that you've never seen before, but bears some similarities to Bind Soul.
Oh, now that's interesting.
If we look really close outside of that paper, is there any other like markings, engravings, ruins, something like that?
There are there's like a kind of like an embossed symbol to the god Rust on the armor, but other than that, nothing.
Right. I was trying to remember this thing had what had a symbol of rust on it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible this thing has a soul in the armor. If that's the case, in theory, that soul could be removed. But
Well, I'm wondering. Okay, you're an elf.
Elves do have souls.
Yeah, that wasn't my question. When you do the whole put yourself into something like Andra did with Brieth, does there have to be a gem involved? Or could you put yourself into just something?
I could put you in anything you'd like.
Really rather didn't. I'm good at putting myself into the things that I want to be in. No, I'm wondering if Fari could have put themselves into the armor as armor instead of into a gem that's on the armor.
If they could do it themselves, I'm not sure how, but someone else could. And
Justice can give you a lore roll.
oh god, here we go. Lore roll. Don't have a book, which is probably for the best.
Yes.
So in the case of like Brieth and the crown and the scepter and the like, it's not that the elves were put into those. It's just over time they changed their form to be that.
They became them, right?
Right. Which is why the gem is still there, because the gem is basically the soul of the elf.
Yeah, like from the treant and from the sorceress. And
Yep, and like inside Trustius's chest if somebody cuts him open.
or we don't have to do that, but
We're cutting Trustius's chest open. Why? Huh? What? Huh?
But Chris, what I'm looking at Bind Soul. And Bind Soul level 3 ritual, so it's a big ritual. You could pretty much stick anybody into anything if you want to.
Yes, but they are two different things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
So the idea that that elf is this armor is unlikely.
It's possible, but if so, it was done by somebody else as opposed to what she herself turned herself into.
Right. That's kind of what I was aiming at, is that somebody could have done it to them, but like I could do it to Desi, but I can't do it to myself.
Right. You could over time, but then your Elvish Ruby would be part of what you turned into.
It'd still be a gem. Yeah.
So that's a no on their own. Yes, someone else could.
Correct.
Entirely possible. There
Yeah,
is a soul or something that feels close to a soul in that armor. I could attempt to remove it, but I have no idea exactly what would happen if I did.
Do you want me to try to talk to Andra? Brieth hasn't said anything, and it's kind of creeping me out. Well, other than run. Because I
What's the
don't
relation?
remember.
Sorry.
I don't remember if Andra said that Fari turned themselves into armor, or if someone else turned Fari into armor, or if Andra even distinguished, or if it was just that Fari is now armor. That's the thing about talking to people in dreams. Everything gets weird. Sorry, you were going to say, Okatai?
I'm just wondering what's the relationship between Jakuz and Rust. Because Risen said he saw a Rust symbol on the armor. And I think she was a champion of Rust before becoming that. Or am I mixing things?
It's just a god, I believe.
Yeah, but is there a link between Jakuz and it? Because now Jakuz is using her champion.
You know very little of Jakuz. Outside that he's claimed this island, I believe. I can assure you that dying here is not something that you would particularly enjoy.
Yeah, not my favorite thing to do.
As for the armor here, if it's immobilized, that's good. If we want to move the soul out of it, I can try, but entirely up to you. My advice, as always, is to combine the gems. Take Breath and Ryzen's scepter, put it in the crown.
And what do we accomplish with that?
And make a stronger item.
And we lose the scepter and Brit.
Correct. However, Desi can use my sword
My
as easily
main
as Breath.
my
And
only
Ryzen is
main-
only so competent with that scepter.
My main problem with that is that the crown is not on our side.
And you believe the rest of the gems are.
A bit more. It's in their interest for now to help us for now. But apparently the dominant figure in the crown is somebody who wants Jakuz free and doing whatever it wants. Right now we're still able to ask whoever is in Briet for answer Andra for answer from time to time. Just fear that once they're all together, that will not be an option anymore.
They form themselves into the shape that they are in to fight Jakuz. That's why they're who they are now.
Except the one who made the crown.
Their purpose is to be together. I assure you. I believe this 100%.
Once again, I'm not against the idea. I'm just trying to weight it up.
All I can say is I've met the demon. It has come for me in my flesh. You do not want to come in here.
Just that once we combine them, we are stuck with Jakuz knowing where we are at all time. We don't have the option of keeping them apart to blur his vision.
You think he doesn't know where we are now?
Right
Well,
now, I
he
know.
does. But if we, separated the items far enough, or buried them in a pit, or threw them into the ocean, or whatever, then he wouldn't.
Or just keep our distance for a while.
I think perhaps you mistake his timeline compared to yours.
Yeah, I know. I'm a stupid little human. I die easy and fast, and I'll be dead soon. Yeah, I've heard it.
Not stupid or little, but human, yes. There's only one chance at this. I suspect this is the first time this many gems have been put together in probably a very long time.
Yeah, it's just that I don't know if putting them together will make it stronger or will just make Jakuz freer.
I don't really want to trade Breath for a different sword. I'm used to it. I like the weight. And sometimes it's really eager. And I like that.
My advice stands.
You have something more than a gut feeling that it will help.
It seems logical. More gems makes for a stronger item, yes? Breath is powerful in a single gem in a sword. Yes? And so is Ryzen's gem. And so is the crown. The crown is argumentative, but it can completely nullify my magic in moments.
It's yes,
Weird,
the items are powerful because people put their life into being that item. But what we have for information now is bring the gem together in one item that free Jakuz, and then we have to kill it. That's what we have. So I'm not confident in putting the thing together till we're ready to kill Jakuz.
Except that Jakuz has the other gems.
Oh, technically the servant of Jakuz. He's not yet free.
I would prefer to rescue the other elves with the strongest weapon we can find.
I agree. I'm just not sure the logic that says putting more gem together makes it stronger.
You will. In time.
Possible.
Regardless, what would you like us to do with this?
A spike?
No, the spike we should keep. The
Definitely.
armor should be sent to sea or buried or something.
Yeah, we won't be able to carry it far away. She's gonna be heavy.
I'd like to sleep on it first. Not on the armor, but
Just cuddle up with the arm.
not on the armor. Not in the armor either. I would like to sleep and see if I can get any information out of Andra before we try to dispose of it.
That can be done.
Because we have another person that we can. We have another person we can ask for information. We should do it.
Yeah.
And I'll
Let's just
feel
feed
not
the crowd.
quite so stupid after I've had a nap.
I mean, it's been a few days since we've been able to make camp, so I can start with that.
Very
And we
well.
can stay close enough to keep an eye on.
Yeah, because
That-
Culty should stay bundled up in his furs, because he's not looking so great.
I've patched him up. I had one success on my medicine roll, but
Well,
he'll need some rest.
yeah, when he's back to, smart talking and meeting strangers and making friends, then he can come out of his furs.
All right, let's make some camp. Trestus will keep watch because he can't sleep for 6 days.
All right.
And with,
Yeah.
with
Have fun
no
with that.
rolls or nothing, he's just awake.
Who needs coffee when you have magic?
That's right.
I'm a make camp.
Coffee tastes better.
All right.
Did you see that roll? Because I don't.
Yep, got it. You got a success.
Okay,
Trust is keep watch. What would Desi and Ryzen like to do this morning?
Oh, and we'll need to go get our tent. We left that first spot. Maybe something's left.
Didn't we circle back around to it?
Not yet.
No, you were planning to.
Oh,
If this fight didn't go well, the rally point was back to the tent.
okay. How far away is it? Do we figure?
About a day.
Oh shit! Really?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't run for an entire day away from camp,
You did.
did we?
2x in
Well,
one direction
shit.
and 2x in another direction. We need to do 2x in a third direction to get back.
Fuck. Well, I'm not gonna make it all the way back, all the way to camp to get our stuff, and then get back on my lonesome before. Yeah, that's not happening in an afternoon or a morning. I will also keep watch, because it never hurts to have more than one.
All right. What would Ryzen like to do?
I would like to do a montage and spend 5 XP and learn might.
All right. Actually, Desi can teach you might. So there we go.
Sure. That'll give me something to do that I'm good at,
We'll do a
as opposed to
teamwork
keeping watch,
type
which I'm
montage.
not good at.
All right.
It's either might or endurance. I think I'm going to start with might.
I can teach you either, I think. Yep.
Cool. I will start with might.
So yeah. So while Ryzen is keeping his Desi's like, pick up that log. Now that log. Now that log. It's all about the reps.
If you
You're gonna
secretly
need to
put me
build
to
up-
work for
Move this log over there. No, move it back again.
You put it back where he found it. What are you doing? The log's supposed to be there.
Trust me.
Dizzy is now sounding like my first supervisor from my first job after university graduation.
Oh god. Your arms and legs will hurt for now, but trust me, when you're swinging that scepter, you will notice a difference. It won't seem nearly so heavy and awkward.
Meanwhile,
I'm just using it for bicep curls whenever I'm not doing anything useful.
Yep. It's pretty much how it goes. For a while.
remember I played a fighter in a D&D game, and the party got really upset at me because I made them do calisthenics every morning.
Poor bird.
You're taking your class to raise logs arisen, but if we have a bit of time while people rest and we set up, I'll do the class on how to speak to people.
How to what?
Speak to people.
I know how to speak to people.
You could give me a hand with that, that'd be great. Sometime I end up being the one speaking, so
I think he's
not-
looking for a class on speaking.
Oh, I thought you were offering to teach. I'm like, what?
No,
Bryce is like, I'm the most charming guy here.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
the
why
most
I'm
charming
asking.
motherfucker amongst all of you.
Yeah, I got fart jokes.
I need Risen to help me talk good, so.
All right, first rule of talking well, pull my finger.
Okay.
Perfect. All right.
Oh, what's that smell?
So Trustius, while you're on watch, because you guys are kind of like, on the beach, you guys were moving along the coast. It looks like a fairly decent fishing area, actually. You
Lovely.
see like lots of little like fish, coming up to the surface to grab like the bugs and stuff in the morning light. And you're like, huh, we haven't had fish in quite a while. And then something very, very large kind of like lunges up from underneath. It snatches like a giant mouthful of fish and disappears back below the surface.
Feels like a steak and eggs day.
Maybe just a little.
But other than that, the morning passes without incidents. Camp is set up. Campfire is going.
Did you say that was morning?
That was the morning.
So is that food and water time?
Food and water time.
Food and water. I thought we did that before we got in the fight, but maybe not.
No, you did food and water before you started running.
Oh, okay. Oh, I need to take rust bite off my sheet again.
And I think I'm officially sleepy. This is where Trustius goes a little loopy the next week.
All right. But you guys do have a camp for anybody who would like to sleep, which is probably all of you except for Trustius. You guys have been up for over a day at this point.
I'd be more than happy to keep watch. Over like the destroyer and all the things coming to get us.
So is everybody who can sleep sleeping?
I
Yep.
think so. I know I am.
Perfect. Trustius can give me a scouting roll.
Oh, yeah, I'm sleeping. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Early for wits damage.
Ugh.
All right. So everybody else is busy snoring away. Trustius, to the southwest, just like on the a ways off, but over the tree lines with your keen elvish vision, you see what looks like smoke from a campfire or a chimney or something. There's definitely signs of life down there.
So like a small spot, not like a city kind of deal.
Right. Like a single kind of plume of smoke, not enough to indicate like a forest fire or anything, and not multiples to signify a city.
Okay. Well, he'll take note and wait for everybody to wake up.
It might be Oscar. We might be able to find him back. We're still missing a goblin.
Trustees is not called to just go visit people in the middle of a watch.
Right. But afternoon passes without incident. Everybody who slept can hit their rest button.
Yay!
And you guys-
Trustees will let everybody know about the fire in case anyone wants to go look for it.
It might be your goblin balloonist.
Maybe.
He's still around there somewhere. He skedaddled when the fight started. I get it. But I would look for him.
I'm more curious about what we should do with his armor.
Oh yeah. We need
Oh,
to-
yeah. While I was sleeping, Chris, I was going to
Yeah.
try to talk to Andra.
Okay. So yes, so on the dream plate, and she will meet you. She looks tired.
Yeah, her and me both. Are you okay?
I will be okay.
Why do you look different?
Doing what I can to mask our presence.
Oh, that's probably for the best. So, evil guy. Seems to have sent a big suit of armor after us.
Terramolda.
Sure. Yep. So I took the nail out, and now we've got this big hulking suit of empty armor with a sword that is like it's got really a strong magnet or something in it, because it keeps kind of going back into its hand, but it's not moving anymore.
She has gone dormant.
And the spike is magical.
In a fashion.
The armor isn't.
In a fashion.
Yeah. Um. What should we do with it? Like, it's not fiery, right?
No, it is not.
Okay. Good. Um. Because I remember you said fiery was in armor. Now. What do we do with this? How do we...
In time, it will reawaken.
On its own?
Yes. Its purpose is not complete.
Even without the spike?
Pulling out the spike returns it to dormancy. In time, it will form a new one.
Oh! So the spike isn't something someone else put in it. The spike, it grew it on its own?
In a way. It is symbolic of her curse.
Magic is so weird. Yeah. So there's something attached to the front of her armor. We can't take it off. I'm not entirely sure how or why, but magic is obviously the answer to that. Because it doesn't make sense. But it's got a marking of rust on it, a sigil of rust.
She is his champion.
Okay, that's good to know. And it's a curse. So is there something we can do to break it?
She will be allowed to rest when her work is complete.
And what is her work, since you seem to know?
To serve her god.
Well, see, that doesn't sound like something that gets to be complete at some point.
That is why it's a curse and not a blessing.
Yeah, okay.
Nice answer.
So there's no way to break her curse. And as far as we can tell, there's no way to destroy the armor either.
No.
Okay. If we tossed it into a volcano, would that do anything? We're getting a lot of background noise.
Tell you what, let me just finish mopping up this rope-sized fucking steaming hot cock I tipped over here. Get a drink. Sound good? Sure.
I can server mute.
Thank you.
There. Yeah, York, just ping me and I'll unserver mute you, but we're getting a lot of noise.
So if we toss it into a volcano, that's not going to help.
It will slow her down.
That's good. I'm all in favor of anything that slows her down. Is there anything else you can tell us about her?
She was a mortal champion of Rust hundreds of years ago. Was sent to deal with dwarves. The dwarves burnt her alive in her armor for her failure. She was cursed to continue to serve.
Okay.
Thankfully, none of you are dwarves.
Yeah, so what would happen if any of us were dwarves?
Oh, she would have killed you.
I mean, she tried.
She would
Kinda.
not have. She would not have merely requested you hand over what she has been sent to retrieve. She would have killed you and taken it.
Okay. Yeah, she wasn't terribly kind to little Culdy, but
It's because the first time she showed, you did not give her what she was looking for.
neither did the rest of us, but she didn't kill us.
So when you encounter her the second time, she will be more violent. When you encounter her the third time, she will be more violent still. The longer that she is thwarted in her duties, the greater her anger becomes.
Also good to know, so slowing her down is a definite plus. I hate trying to think in dreams. So we can't free her. Does Rust serve the evil that rules the island?
They are one and the same.
Oh. Also good to know. Why does he go by a different name here?
Because that is what the worshippers call him.
Okay. I don't think any of us ever clued into that. Huh. Weird.
Many of the gods go by different names in different regions. It is not uncommon.
Also good to know. I wasn't really religious, and I'm still not really. Maybe the rest of them know, and it's just me who's dumb as a post.
You are only human.
Yeah. Trustees keeps reminding me. Thanks. That's great. Love to hear it. So does he have the gems that we don't?
He would not have released Tremalda if he was not desperate to get the ones you have, which means he does have my beings, my friends.
Oh. Okay then. Sorry about that. We didn't get to them fast enough. He has a wife?
I'm not surprised.
I am. Kinda. Okay, but you don't know anything about her.
That was long after our time.
That's also good to know. Yeah. Shit. Does he have more champions like this? Or more champions, period?
He does, but there is only one Tremalda.
That's good. Is she the mightiest of them?
In a fashion.
That isn't much of an answer.
It's very hard to compare physical might and magical might.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just, if something comes at us with magical might, we'll send Trestius in. We'll just tell him to do his magic wrong, and it'll fuck up the entire area.
That is very true.
That is very true. It does tend to fuck him up too, though, which is that kind of sucks.
We're aware. We are waiting.
We are waiting. We who? Waiting for what?
For when his time is to join us.
I think he's trying to delay that as much as possible.
Then he should stop using magic.
Yeah. I think there are days he thinks the same thing, but it doesn't seem to be. That would be like telling me not to use my strength for something.
Strength is reliable, magic is not.
Mhm.
But I have not yet come to a judgment on him, so for now he lives.
There was a test a while ago that we did, that he did. Where only the pure-hearted could eat some kind of flower without it killing him, or without it hurting him. And he passed. I'm pretty certain I wouldn't have. Caldy knew he wouldn't.
That simply means he is not corrupt. Magic always corrupts.
Well, then I'm happy it's doing it really slowly.
Then he will continue to live.
And maybe Brieth won't keep trying to tell me that he's an evil son of a bitch and I should drown him as soon as I get the chance.
Oh, he is, make no mistake. When he becomes corrupted, it'll be too late to stop him.
But he isn't corrupt.
That is a risk for you to take.
Yes, because I'm the one who's got legs right now.
When he is corrupted, he will kill all of you, and it will be too late to stop him. Better to end him before he gets there.
He might kill us all accidentally before then.
Then his corruption will start.
I'm pretty sure at that point he'll be dead too, but okay.
Do not say you weren't warned.
No, I know. I've been warned a lot. I just think if you were really worried about corruption, then I wouldn't be the one carrying you around.
You don't have the power that a sorcerer does.
Also true. Kinda.
When he kills you, we won't shed any tears.
No, I wouldn't really expect you to. Yeah. No, definitely wouldn't expect you to. If anything cuts me down, I wouldn't shed any tears, so, you know. I wouldn't expect you to either. But I'm glad to hear that there's only one of Terramulda, and that throwing her in a volcano will slow her down. How about the ocean?
No different than a volcano in that regard.
Okay, also good to know.
And then she starts to fade out of existence.
So when Desi wakes up, she'll communicate the basics. There's only one of her. She was a champion of Rust, who the dwarves apparently burned alive in her armor. Apparently she has real hate on for dwarves now. And if any of us were dwarves, she would have killed us and not stopped until she did. Can't say I blame her. There's only one of her, which is good. There might be other champions of Rust who are almost her equal, but it would be... I think there's a magic one, but not a physical one that's anywhere near her. Her being a champion is a curse. Eventually, apparently, the spike grows back. And Desi will look like, I don't know what the fuck that means. It'll take a long time, though. Throwing her either in the volcano or in the ocean, either one will slow her down. And apparently Jakuz and Rust are the same person.
Oh, that's
Am I the only one who didn't know that? I'm not the only one. Good. Because
I've been asking this question for a while.
I felt really stupid there for a while.
Nope, I had no idea.
It's like, really? Did everyone know this and no one told me? But
No,
okay, I feel better.
We saw a bunch of places dedicated to Rust, and it was like, is it starting to, like, is there a link between those two? Are they buddies? Do they live together?
See, I'm glad it's one being and not two.
Yeah, but it's not just a demon then, it's some kind of godly entity.
Well, yeah, there is that. But still, one being, not two. And whether we go to the coast or we go to the volcano, either one is good for the armor. At least slowing it down. It's not good for the armor, but it's good for us.
We're way closer to the ocean.
Yeah. And it's kind of heavy, and I don't think any of us really look forward to hauling it up the side of a volcano.
And if she's really fucking angry at the dwarves for burning her, I would just throw her in the ocean. Just not to get on her shit list. She's gonna wake up again.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah.
Do you have the time to ask if what would happen if we put the stone together?
If we did what?
Put the gemstone together.
No, I didn't. He does have the others, though.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So if that thing is gonna come back, we better start smithing a meteoric sword then.
Yeah, she didn't sound like anything would destroy it.
Yeah, but
it's a cursed person.
We have to kill a god.
Person.
If Jakuz and Rust are synonymous, then we have to kill a god.
Yeah, I don't think Terrameld is not going to be our biggest worry.
I'll still make the meteoric sword just in case there's any truth to that story. We do have some meteoric iron.
Gods have died before.
Sure.
Waking up with the intention of killing God is an expression in my tribe, but I'm not sure how it applies here.
Oh, Andra said she's trying to hide us, but it's tiring. I don't know what it is that she's doing to try to hide us, and she didn't seem keen to talk about it, so.
She didn't say anything we could do to help her hide us.
We're keeping the gems too close.
Yeah, let's
Probably.
start keeping the gem away from each other again.
Or we put them together and we start this fight now.
We're missing gems.
We're gonna
I still
be
don't know
missing
how this
gems.
helps us.
Jacuz has the other gems.
A servant of Jacuz has it, not Jacuz himself. I think.
No, Andra didn't specify. She said he had them.
Because right now Jacuz is banished, like bound or something to this island. Is he physically somewhere? From
We
what I
don't know.
understood, we needed the gems to be able to access the world again.
Gotcha.
What we do know is from this conversation, we're fighting God. Not a
Yeah.
demon, but a god. Now, if you prefer, I will have all these gems collected into this crown and give it to Ryzen or Hokutai or whoever you like to fight said god. Or logic says our best bet is for me to, and us, obviously, to fight it. But I can wield that power far better than you.
How are you going to fight it when you have the crown that keeps your magic dormant? How's that going to work?
I expect with the other gems, will not keep my magic dormant, but to augment it.
It's a mighty big assumption. And on the exact opposite spectrum of what the crown is doing now.
And my logic doesn't say the same thing. My logic says that if we put the gem in the crown, we'd still too short, so Jacuz is not forced out. We don't have an occasion to kill it, but now we're permanently in his sight, and we don't have a way to hide from him anymore. So it asks in the time where we get caught by him off guard.
And he only needs to get one item instead of 3.
Yeah.
Like right now, if he catches Kaldi with the crown, okay, he's got 3 more gems. That's not good by any stretch. But if Ryzen and I take off in opposite directions, he can only chase one of us at a time.
Or he could just wait for you to die.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem terribly keen on just waiting for us to die.
I mean, it seems so. This is the first time he's really struck out against us.
Well, if he's gonna wait for us to die, I'm not gonna wait for myself to die. I plan to take that fight to that motherfucker before time is done.
Which is
We
what
just
I'm
need
saying.
some more tools.
Not tomorrow.
There's plenty of things that could help us that is just within reach. If we can stay out of his sight for a little while, I mean, or if our life is incommensurably short and insignificant, that's still time for us to do things. We don't live long, but in that short time, we have the opportunity to do things.
All right.
I'm willing to bring that fight and kill God if that's what we need to do. But there seems to be a few more things we need before we're ready to fight him. Like, know how to fight him. Right now, all we know is bring the gem together and he pops up and we might have a chance to kill him, but we don't know how. Like, do we want to ask him that? While we still don't know how to kill him? He might be a bit more vulnerable as he's released, but don't have a clue of how to do it. And if we don't have a clue of, if we can kill Terramalba, I don't see how we kill the guy who imbues it with power. What we have at our disposal right now. Even if the crown is stronger, we need the 7 stone to bring him into the world, and I don't see how that helps. And since there's one of his servants in the crown, I don't see that crown turning around and changing its kind of power. Might nullify magic better, but does that help? Does that help us?
I mean, if I remember that long, I'll try asking the next time I sleep, or the next time I see her.
And ask her if there's anything we can do to help us either. Hide us.
She didn't seem to think so, but she didn't seem keen to talk about it. So
No, we
The
can.
crown
We
is-
know we.
The crown's the wrong form. It's the wrong vessel.
It might be.
Let's get home. I'll build a weapon. I'll build one that can contain the stones.
It's worth trying. We might as well want to make something out of meteoric iron in case we need to do something about Terramalba at some point again.
I have an idea, but we have to get home first.
Yeah.
Preferably in one piece with all the stones.
I
Do you
like One
think that-
Piece.
Do you think that like dragon bones would help us make better weapon?
There's magic and dragons.
Because if we manage to kill that dragon and the dwarf can go back to their mountain, they say they might have a forge that could fix rustbite in their mountain. If there's a forge that can fix rustbite, maybe you can do stuff with that forge.
We need the hammer first.
Yeah.
No lead time at the forge. But hammer, dragon bones. Good work. I'll make the weapon. I'm not sure if I can do it, but Dizzy might.
I'll start picking up and moving bigger logs. Just to get ready.
We'll start by getting home.
Home is good. Maybe. We'll see when we get there. It's been a while.
Well, we can pack up our stuff and make our day back to our camp. We have a camp already set up, so we might as well go rest there.
Yeah, I'm thinking armor goes in the ocean for the ties to take care of, and
Maybe something big will eat it.
the XP guy and me would love to move east at least 1 hex.
My plan is going back to the campment, so we should do at least 1x through the
Just due east, right?
to get back to the campment, so we can get our shit back and we can rest there without me having to make camp. Who's gonna chase the raccoon out of the tent, and the squirrel army living in our boots, and it should be fine.
All right.
Relight the fire.
Perfect. So between the two people with might, between Desi and Ryzen, it's not hard to get the armor to the ocean.
We could just put a log, like something that floats. So
Yeah,
we
tie
can
to a
push it
log, put a little sail on it.
Like let it
You're not going to find a log that's buoyant enough to hold the set of armor up.
And we took our raft apart.
And you took your raft apart. And
I was
Tressus,
thinking of a part of the raft we took apart. But yeah.
and Tressus, you're aware of the fact that too much splashing the water may attract the sea serpent that you saw.
Yeah, currents will work.
Let the sea
I mean,
serpent eat the
If
armor.
the sea serpent eat Armaldo, that would be Terramaldo, that would work.
See?
I
Who knows
just
where it would
want
end up?
I want you all to know that I could, in theory, pull the soul out of this thing and weaponize it, and I'm not because Trustius is a good guy.
I mean, I'm good with
Today.
you using that soul. I'm not the one telling
Theoretically,
you.
if we're matching the power of a god to keep her soul in the armor, and Trestius, I'm gonna have to put my money on the god. Because if
Yeah.
Trestius wields that much power, there'll be a mishap. Trestius will be dead.
Or all of you. But, I mean, it's magic's weird.
Whichever. We're in the
It's
same
kinda
zone.
random.
Sure.
Alrighty. So you get the armor temporarily dealt with. And set off. It is, because it is spring, it is dark as you set off towards your camp. Towards your other camp. So I'm going to need a lead the way roll at -2 and a scouting roll at -2.
Sorry, just quickly, Chris, if we got the armor into the ocean, the water, do we just see it like sink once we like get it out a distance, or what?
Yep,
Okay,
it sinks
I was
beneath
worried that
waves.
I was worried we would need to weigh it down extra or something.
No, it is quite heavy enough.
I am not re-rolling that.
You can't reroll that.
Did I get any success? I can't see my
You
roll.
did.
2.
Two.
Good.
I got 0 and 2 Banes, so I can't push that.
Yeah.
Okay. Traveling it through the forest in the dark. There are a variety of noises in the woods. There's definitely critters out here, but they seem to be giving you a fairly wide berth. Nothing comes towards you. Nothing seems to interrupt your travels, but things are definitely paying attention to you as you move through the woods.
And can we try to keep distance between the gem holder to try to lessen the scrying on us?
Yep.
I'll try to enforce that.
And then traveling on through the night.
This is such a bad idea.
I do not need a lead the way roll. I do need a scouting roll
You want me to do
Okentar, you might as
scouting?
well do it, right?
at -2.
Yeah. I can do that.
I assume you're better than Trustius than that.
I got 6 dice.
All right.
Did I get anything?
You did. You got a success.
Okay, good.
So as you're traveling through the forest, you come across this patch of mushrooms. One sec. Probably be about a meter high. And they're like funnel cap mushrooms, and their caps emit a very faint fluorescent light.
Are those mushroom I know?
You can make a survival roll.
Just a second.
Oh, 2 successes. 3 successes.
Wow, good roll.
Uh,
It's my best one.
So you recognize those are called glowing green caps. Unprocessed, they are lethally poisonous, as like an ingested poison. But they can be prepared by a chef, in which case they are actually very, very nutritious.
Oh. Could I prepare them into poison?
It would have to be a poison that somebody ingests.
Okay. Good to know. I remember that there was a poisonous snake that the troll brought us that you were able to cook resin even if it was poisonous.
Yeah.
Those mushrooms are approximately the same. Like they're very poisonous, but if cooked right, they're really good.
And they don't even need to be cooked. Basically, they need to be sliced and left to dry in the sun, so the toxin basically evaporates. Cooking them, like frying them, would release the toxin and probably poison everybody around the campfire.
Ah.
So there's a process.
There's a process because I got 3 successes on a survival roll.
I mean, lots of things we eat are dangerous if not cooked right, so I have nothing against that. I'm gonna pick some mushrooms.
Perfect. All right.
They're gonna be a lamb for a while.
I mean, Tresty has taught Ryzen how to cook, but everyone wants the halfling instead of the necromancer to cook food. I don't know why that is. Seems weird.
Lots of things we do are weird.
Oh, Tresty's is cooking. No, I don't think that's. No, I don't want that.
But as the sun is starting to creep over the horizon, you finally make it back to your first camp, which looks pretty much just as you left it like a day or two ago.
I'm gonna start the fire and just put the camp back in order. Do we need to make camps again?
No, you do not.
Good.
Chris, along the way, can I do some more foraging for food because I'm down, or stuff that can be used for food? Because I'm down to a D6.
The mushrooms actually that you collected, you can grab some of those quite easily.
Okay, magic mushrooms for everybody.
There you go.
We need the sun to dry them out. Don't cook them at night.
So yeah, you can between you and Trustius, you can like prep them, put them out to dry during the morning. They'll be ready by afternoon, and it's enough for six rations of food. So six dice worth of food to split up.
I'm
Okay, well,
at
I'm
a
at a
D.
D6.
I'm at D12, so I don't need one.
I'm at D8 because I split my food with the goblin. Oh, and by the way, when we get to the camp, I'm gonna make a fire with some smoke this time, so that Oscar can spot us that the camp is alive again. So if he's in the vicinity, he can show himself.
All right.
Okay, so how much do people want? Because, like I said, I'm at a D6 currently.
I'm at the D8, so I could use 2. Do you need any, Desi?
You're muted.
Sorry. No, I'm good for now.
Okay, so you can go back to a D12 prison.
I've got a
Uh,
D10, so I'm fine.
you can raise up to a D12. We have one ration left after we both go to D12.
Does someone else need it more? What's
What's
we
called
don't know what Cully's at.
Cully's at a D8.
Yeah, give it to Cully instead.
Can we raise Caldy to D10?
Okay. So morning time. If you guys want to camp, you certainly can. If you want to sleep,
We want to try to get our schedule back in walking in the day. Or do we want to keep trying to sleep at day?
Well, we don't really. I suppose we've got Trustius to watch overnight.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to sleep right now.
Yes.
But I'm not sure it's good for him, but he's not sleeping.
No, I don't think it's good for anybody that he's not sleeping. It's kind of weird, though.
I think we should, like, people who needs to rest right now rest, but I think we should, like, stay at camp for a bit, just like a shift or two, sleep in the night and leave in the morning, so we can get our schedule back in order.
Makes
think that-
sense.
Yeah.
And finding some water would be good.
Yeah, it's another reason to stay here. We could just check around for water, and maybe in exploring that X, we can find Oscar back.
all right. So what would you guys like to do in the morning?
Are we actually sleeping?
You will be sleepy
can-
once afternoon rolls around, so you might want to sleep now.
Because I want to try to commune with my scepter like Desi communed with her.
All right.
Good luck. Hopefully yours isn't an asshole.
They're all
I think I've
assholes. They're elves.
I think I've only communed once with it.
Maybe.
It wasn't that bad.
Check if you manage to speak with him. Ask about putting all the stones together, if that would make an item more powerful. And if we can do anything to help not being spotted by the forces of Jakuz by keeping stuff away from each
I'm
other.
not telling you that I'm about to commune, so I've got my
Oh,
line
sorry.
of questioning for my scepter. Thank
I thought that was a in character question.
you. No, that was to
Should I
Chris.
commune? Oh, sorry about that.
Hey.
I'm not saying all that then.
All right. So everybody except for Trustius is sleeping?
How is your ability to stand guard, Dresses? Should we double up the guard?
I mean, if there's an extra action, we might as well look for water because it fills everybody up, right? So
Yeah.
I
Is
think
that I need to sleep either now or next year?
oh, you might as well sleep now.
Okay.
Get the schedule fixed, right?
Yeah, because we'll need to sleep again when the nights come. We'll have 2 rest cycles close together. But
I'll keep watch.
I'll rest now.
All right. Perfect. Trustius can give me a scouting roll.
Mm-hmm. With his diminishing wits.
Ever diminishing.
I'll take it.
Interesting. All right. So everybody gets some rest. Trustius keeps watch.
Does not, right?
So Ryzen, as you like, you know, Desi has communicated with Brith, and you've talked to the Scepter like once before.
Yeah, once for sure.
So as you trying to think of like what she did, and you're like focusing on it, and you find yourself on that kind of like featureless plain where a couple of nights ago you saw multiple elves and Desi, but now there's just a singular, like kind of like very imposing male elf. Little one.
Hello again. I require a sounding board and possibly some wisdom.
I was an architect at some point. I suppose that comes with a certain amount of wisdom.
Okay, so Desi, one of my companions, communed with Brieth, I believe it was, about this armor that we fought, Terra Malda, as well as about Jakuz and Rust.
Yes.
So, sorry. So here's my thing. I got some. You're an elf, correct? Was an elf, are an elf.
I
So
am an elf, yes.
you're an elf. Okay. So I have this guy in our group, Trestius, who is an elf. So I'm not up on the whole, dying thing, turning into gems and all that. Haven't died yet. Hopefully won't die for a good long time. But Trestius died. And Trestius somehow came back. I think Okatai, our druid, did it. I'm not 100% sure now. It's all kind of foggy. Because we all tried our best to bring him back, and somehow he came back. So here's my first question. He wasn't dead for very long, but in the time that he was passed, is it possible that some entity from this island could have gone into his body to possess him? And if so, is there a way that we could detect that and tell that?
I suppose it's possible. One would have to be waiting nearby. How long was he dead for?
What was it, like a few minutes, Chris?
Yeah, it was just a few minutes.
A few minutes before some magic or something got cast. The window was small, but still.
It is unlikely, but not impossible. The longer he had remained dead, and as an elf, he would have eventually reformed. Our kind are immortal, for the most part.
Okay. The reason I ask is because I got suspicious because while this guy being, a big mystical magic using sorcerer type who likes to talk mystic riddles and, cast his magic and be all woo, dark, ominous, and spooky, he got really, at least as far as I'm concerned, obsessive and more egotistical than usual about some things, and basically got convinced that only he can wield the power to defeat Jakuz/Rust, and he wanted us to take all the gems between us that we have and put them into the crown so he can wield it like a super weapon against Jakuz. And that just struck me when he said that fresh from the dead as being a little suspicious, like maybe he's been possessed by an agent of Rust or something like that. So you're saying it's possible, but not super likely. Okay. So my next question then would be his theory on creating a quote-unquote super crown weapon. Do you think it's a smart idea to put all our eggs into that basket or keep them separate? Because most of us in the group seem to think that keeping them separate is a good idea, regardless of whether he's on the up and up.
When all of us are together, and my understanding is that we are not currently all together, we can disconnect Jakuz from the island. Free him, make him vulnerable. As long as he's bound to the island, he is not vulnerable. But when we're all together, we can complete the rite we started many centuries ago and sever his connection. If you are not prepared to take advantage of this, then he will be free in the world.
According to my compatriot, Briath told her that Jakuz is in possession of the other gem.
If he gets all of us together, he will be able to destroy us, and then nothing will be able to stop him.
So at this time, putting all the gems into, let's say, the crown, at least all the gems that we have, doesn't really accomplish anything.
I would not trust those who reside in the crown. Not all of us were on the same side. Some accepted that we needed to betray our master with a great deal of reluctance. Some of us realized what our master had become. Myself, Andra, Fari, Falora. But some of the others would likely fall under his sway again. And that includes the ones that reside in the crown.
So you say your master was who?
We served Jakuz at one time. We realized what he had become and endeavored to stop him.
But some were less reluctant and more willing to do so.
Exactly. There was a schism amongst our ranks. And with time to think and reflect upon things, I would not trust the ones in the crown unless you can force them to submit.
Trying to remember if there was anything else I wanted to ask. I think we've touched on the main things. I don't want to disturb you more than I have to. Trustius, and whether or not to put the gems were my main concerns right now. And like I said, if he is possessed, a way to determine that, but okay. All right. Well, I thank you for your time. I think I have all the answers that I could hope to have right now. This has been very enlightening. Thank you.
Good luck. I have been curious as to what the younger races are capable of, and I am eager to see how things go for you.
Hopefully I live long enough for you to be able to find out from me.
Indeed.
And I think I'm pretty happy with that. If I need to, I'll go back if I think of something else another time.
Perfect. Right. And Trustius, since you're on watch, and actually succeeded on your scouting roll
Today.
today, in the distance, to the southeast, towards the plume of the volcano that you can see in that general direction,
Nope, don't like it.
you can hear kind of like very, very faintly, so obviously carrying a great distance, but you can hear drum beats. A very,
Crap.
like a very kind of rhythmic, but very faint drum beat, probably some distance off. But as the drum beats start to kind of, pick up their pace and get slightly louder, but still a great distance away, we will call it there.
Damn, Ryzen. Well done.
Asking the right questions. I hope you made notes because I
that was awesome.
I was cleaning off mosquito bits, so I didn't hear your.
I asked the two biggest questions that have been nagging me for a bit. I'm glad you communed because I totally forgot about the ability to commune with these things.
Perfect. All right. XP. Participate in the game session.
Are we considered having rested?
Yes, you are considered to have rested.
I'll
Most
take
you
that
are.
rest to learn my manipulation.
Perfect. Trustius does not rest, and in fact takes a point of damage to his wits.
He does.
I would.
I have internalized all of Rizen's fart joke and charmingness.
Right.
I'd like to raise skill.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my might from a 2 to a 3. I think it's
Oh,
that's
15.
is that the one? Is that the one that gets used when I'm using Briath,
No.
or is it melee?
It's melee.
Is it melee?
Yeah.
I could do melee from
The
3
two
to a
skills
4.
you use the most with Briet is melee and insight.
Yeah. And insight's
That's
really
true.
only when we're fighting with each other, not someone else.
Yeah, getting to understand
I
what she
could-
wants is insight.
I've got 23 XP. I could take melee from 3 to
You
a
have
4.
23 XP?
I have 23 XP. I've already got like the talents, except for a couple. Like I could raise Berserker, or Brawler, Executioner. Everything else I've already gotten. There just isn't that much for fighters who don't spread out into range stuff. Desi's very limited in what she does, but she does it really well.
Time to get you a bow.
You can always
She-
get some Dragon Slayers and some Lucky and.
Because you use what, marksmanship?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a 0 in marksmanship, a 4 in agility, but no marksmanship at all. So if we're gonna do that, then it'll be something that Trustius has, or somebody has to teach her.
Yeah, it would be
Well-
like Trustius trying to learn how to use the CNET, right? Like
Which
you could do
you
it. It
probably
just takes
should
time.
do. Yeah,
All right.
man, melee 4 is awfully tempting.
Well, while you're considering participating in the game session,
Yes.
yes.
Yep.
Travel through at least one hex, yes.
Yay!
Discover a new adventure site, no. Defeat one or more monsters, yes.
Yay!
Find a treasure, no. Build a function, no. Activate pride, no. Suffer from dark secret, nope. Risk,
Every day. But no. Yeah.
risk your life for another PC. I
No
don't,
more than usual.
yeah, no more than usual. Perform an extraordinary action of some kind.
I don't know if we gave it to Risen last game because we didn't know if that information was going to be critical. So the fact that he found out about the nail being the key to stopping that monster.
I mean, knowing that I think we did, but knowing that
Last game we
the
didn't know it would be key. Like we knew it might be, but like since we didn't know that was the answer. I don't know if we
but he
could-
found out a bigger thing, right? Like he found out that the crown is not our friend, right? Like the stuff in that gem, the elves in that gem are or in the crown are adversarial. That's fucking huge.
We knew that. We knew that.
Yeah.
No, not to that
He-
extent, though. I
Yeah,
don't
he
think.
clearly confirmed that.
Yeah.
We had
It's in my notes.
I mean, I give him an XP for that one.
Because I have notes from back when Caldy first tried to talk to them. Because that's how I knew whose names are in the gem.
I mean, we knew
Or
they were
whose
assholes.
names were in the
but
crowd. We
did
knew they were
know-
assholes. We knew that that Leonardus or Leonidas, whatever his name was a priest of T'Kuz.
'cause there was somebody
was-
in the gem willing to help us, but she wanted
Lendardus.
she
Yes,
didn't want to be
Lendardus.
spotted by the eye priest.
Right. Lendardus was unwilling to be part of the ritual, and he was J'Kuz's high priest at the time. Ritora was a sycophant of Lendardus, but willingly sold him out so they could force the ritual on him. And Fecker was a sorcerer of some power who devised the ritual. That
Fucking
was
hell,
my
shit.
notes. I know. You guys are assholes. But that was my notes about the crown from when Caldy tried talking to it and did not have a good night's rest.
All right.
But still Risen got lots of information.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good with
So,
that.
I will take your word for it because I didn't hear it.
Neither
for
is
that
AFK.
conversation and the fact that he found out about the nails last game, I'd give him an extraordinary
I
action on that.
put it in my
Fuck
notes to give you an IC info dump next week.
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
All right. So it looks like 3 XP and then 4 for Ryzen.
Nice. Hey, we didn't die.
We didn't die! Amazing.
I am genuinely shocked.
I know, right?
The
mean-
the earthquake that Ryzen cast actually was also really monumental.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because pinning that thing down, yeah,
Yeah. What I did,
absolutely essential.
the way I ruled it in my head was that the power level or the earthquake would how many successes it would have to accumulate on might rolls to get free. So it needed to get 5. Got 1 on the first and 3 on the second, and then 0 on the third roll.
Yeah, you watched the third one.
On
right?
like 12
for
dice. So I'm
goodness.
like, oh. So
Relieved to hear that.
perfect. So yeah, we will see everybody next week as you guys are finally free to travel without anything trying to kill you. I mean, there's drums off in the distance, but
You're fun.
Drums in the deep. Drums in the deep.
We're
long as
just
they don't
going
have a
home.
patrol,
I just want to
fine.
go home.
I mean, it's
I just want to sleep in my own bed, my own roof.
as long as you like travel in a straight line and don't go like, oh, squirrel, you'll be fine.
Hey, there's
we're
a
gonna
volcano.
squirrel.
There's a volcano
Yes.
in the southeast.
Hythe is there. We're gonna squirrel.
You're like it's literally a straight line to your village.
I know. But Hythe is just 1 hex up.
Yep, and
So
And
you
then-
The
know,
volcano is just
there.
one hex down.
and the volcano's just 1 hex down. So
that's right.
And then Okatai's like, would Dragon Bones help? Well, yes, I suppose they would.
yeah.
I'm trying to motivate Tristis to do the thing I think we need to do before killing J'Kuz, which include killing the dragon and getting access to that forge to make mad weapon that can kill J'Kuz.
Okay,
All right, guys, we'll see everyone on the next game, which is
Yeah.
probably soon.
Next week.
Next week.
Well, for this one, yeah.
Oh yeah, Twilight 2000 on Saturday. And Pathfinder
Cheers,
on
guys.
Sunday. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks very much. Take care, everybody.
You too.
Night.